Good morning. In class, we've been talking about coding, period. When you play games on your phone or iPad, those don't just happen without some type of thought process behind them. The first thing that must be done is a sketch. What do you want this app to look like when a user is playing your game or using your app? The next thing that has to be done is a thought process. How will the things happen on your app that you want to see occur? Period. This could include a score, a timer. There are many items you have to think about before you start putting your app together. Once you design your app, you will start working with coding that app. Coding an app is putting the instructions together for how you want your app to work. If you want to have a score kept, it can be a detriment or an increment, depending on which way you go. If it is a detriment, you may have a game that starts out with 3 chances. And every time you lose, it decreases by 1. And when you get to 0, the game is over. An increment in score would be just the opposite. If you have a game you're playing and you do a certain skill so many times and you get a point for each one, then that is an increment. A timer can be the same way, a decrement or an increment, decreasing or increasing in time. Some games have a 1-minute limit. Another game may let you play as long as you still have lives left. However, the important thing to think about behind the timer, behind the action in your app, is the code that occurs to make those things happen. We will be starting in Scratch. Scratch is a site that allows you to create your designs and make them work. So we have already done our sign in, and I set you up with those account names already. If you happen to be missing that day, you have to come up here to join Scratch, and I would like for you to use your school login and password. Now, when you start, you will see that you do have some featured projects. You have some items that you can look at that other people have done. I would suggest you not post yours just yet because your beginning Scratch projects will not be anything like theirs just yet. Here's a video we can watch on this site as well, getting started. What I would like to do is, if you look across the blue band at the top, it says Create. If you would press Create once you're logged in, and I'm waiting for mine to run. You will notice that this is the screen you get. And all the way to the left where the little colored dots are, that's called your palette. If you notice, if you want your sprite to move, you need to go to motion. If you want to change the sprite's looks, that is the purple dot right below. You can add sounds. Events are very important. Events are the things that make things happen. If I click on events, you can see that if I come up to the top, if I pull this over to the work area, and this is your work area here in the center, you can start an action or an event by clicking the green flag at the top above the cat sprite. Notice that I have some other events. When I click the space, if I click on that, you can change that to any letter you want. I always save R for resetting. So when I click the R at the end, all my sprites go back to their original positions. So this is what MIT Scratch looks like, and this is kind of the beginning of an app. If you don't like the sprite, and a sprite is anything that can be manipulated right here. So if I don't like him, I can come down here to the bottom right and click on that little cat. Notice I can pick up any sprite I want. So it says choose a sprite. So there's a menu across the top. I'm just going to choose an animal of some type. So I'm going to choose, for instance, this little chick. Now I have a chick. Now in the work area where I'm going to do my coding right in the middle, you'll notice that the chick is up there. I would be writing the code for the chick. Watch how it changes to the cat. I am right. If I put any code in the center column, I am coding the cat. Now I would be coding the chick. Now notice I can drag my sprites around on the screen, the canvas. This is called the canvas. If I want to add a canvas, a different background, right down here where I chose my sprites, the little circle next to it, see right here, there's a search. I can choose my backdrop. So my backdrop can be, it's coming in slowly, but my backdrop can be any of these items. I haven't used a lot of them, but I've used several of them. Today I'm going to put my chick and my cat, out here with the blue sky. We all need some fresh air right now. So notice right now I've got my sprite, that is the cat, selected, and I can choose a motion. So I am telling him to move 10 steps and turn 15 degrees. My event is clicking the green flag at the top. So if I do that, 10 steps on this program is not very big. So I can do an item like this. There's lots of ways that I want you to experiment with your sprite, and this is what today and tomorrow is going to be about. I have a small project I'm going to attach with this that gives you very specific instructions for the very first project. So I want you to experiment and work with this. You will see other projects coming. A project should take you approximately 2 days to complete. And I hope you have fun with this, but this is how code works. Now, this is called Blockly code. And there are other types of code, and all code is binary, which means zeros and ones. But this is the easiest way to begin the logical thinking for coding. We'll be doing some more on this in the near future. Have a good day.